he didn't want it to look like it was choreographed fight. He wanted to look like it was real. And so I told John, I said, the only way it's going to look real is you got to be able to do this for real. And he said, then I want to do it for real. So I started training him for real.
Hey guys, when you think of John Cusack, you usually think great actor. You don't necessarily think badass martial arts kickboxer, but after watching this video, you'll probably think otherwise. So, of course, my guest is the kickboxing great legend, Benny the Jet Urquidez, and we're going to find out some very interesting stuff about John Cusack. And of course, since Benny the Jet had also trained with many other great martial artists such as Michael Jai White, I had to ask the question, who do you think wins, John Cusack or Michael Jai White? Make sure to comment below before you watch the rest of this video, and we're going to see what the man himself, Benny the Jet, who trains both of these guys, what he really thinks. And of course, as many of you know, Michael Jai White has a very high opinion of himself, thinking Bruce Lee has no chance due to sheer size.
I hate that I said it, but it is the truth.
Thinking he can beat Mike Tyson in boxing.
Do you think you would win?
Yeah, of course I think I would win.
Okay, you can't kick him.
No, I know.
And belief is a powerful thing.
A belief is nothing but a feeling of absolute certainty about what something means. But all you're really saying is, I feel certain about this.
But it's much better to actually ask somebody who's trained with them as opposed to just speculating or taking Michael Jai White on his word. So it's very interesting what Benny the Jet says. So another really cool Hollywood guy that you worked with for a long time was John Cusack.
Yes.
Now, when he came to you, was it because he had a movie role and he had to start, learning how to fight in film, or was he just like, I want to learn martial arts, and then he just ended up using those skills in films later?
Well, he followed me. He followed me around for a while before I got introduced to him, and he watched what I was doing, and he wanted to take on reality fighting, just like Jackie Chan. And he wanted the reality in the fight, that he didn't want it to look like it was choreographed fight. He wanted to look like it was real. And so I told John, I said, the only way it's going to look real is you got to be able to do this for real. And he said, then I want to do it for real. So I started training him for real. And then we started sparring, and then I brought some of my students to come in and spar with him for real. And I guarantee you, he became so good, he became scary.
Wow.
I mean, he can really fight boxing, kickboxing, martial arts. I didn't teach him a lot of martial art technique. I saw him more kickboxing than anything because that's what he wanted. He wanted the physical.
So what I've been doing lately is kickboxing.
And so I trained him for a good 30, maybe 31, 32 years.
Oh, wow. Is he still going to you now or not?
He moved. Yes. I mean, we still talk. I just talked to him the other day, but he has it. So he's been my student for such a long time that he's a high-ranking student and incredible kickboxer, good boxer. And the martial arts, I tell you what, man, he is not bad in martial arts, but his cup of tea is kickboxing.
Here's a fun question. Of all the actors, martial artists, Jackie Chan, Van Damme, Cusack, Swayze, and so many others, who do you think would be the toughest challenge, hypothetically, just for fun, if you had to do a kickboxing match against one of these guys? Of all the martial art actors you've worked with, who do you think would pose the greatest challenge?
I think John.
Really? John Cusack?
Yeah, I think he would be a challenge.
I mean, he is a big guy. He's like 6'4" or something, isn't he?
Exactly.
Got some reach on him.
But he knows how to use his reach.
Wow.
And I brought some guys in, and I told one of my students, work with him, and instead he started going hard on John. So John turned and looked at me like, hey. And I told my student, calm down, He wanted to prove to John, I guess. So John looked at me again, and I just put my hands up. I said, hey, do what you got to do. My student went after him, and John hit him with a right cross and round kicked his body, and he went down. And I had to get his win back and get him back again. And I said, "What is wrong with you? What why'd you go like?" He said, "You know what? I don't know." And I said, "Are you fearful of him?" And I'm talking about, you fearful of Johnny?
Yeah, sure.
He said, "Maybe." He said, "Maybe that's why, because either when you're fearful, you run right at him like a dog, and you start, and he went right at him. And I never seen that. I brought him because he's really colorful and good technician and so forth. That's why I brought him to work with Johnny. But his mind, remember, 80% of his mental and mentally, he went after Johnny, and Johnny knocked him out.
Wow.
And I had to get him back. But Johnny is truly, he's the real deal.
I believe it if you say it. Another really great martial artist, also actor you worked with, I heard that you trained him, Michael Jai White.
Best back spinning kick I've ever seen. Number one is Benny Urquidez.
How was Michael Jai White?
You know what? He is a real, true martial artist. He is a true fighter. He's the real deal too.
Could he take out John Cusack?
You know what? To me, that's all hearsay until they're actually doing it, because all it takes is one punch to turn something around.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Lloyd, someone's here to see you.
So, you can't say, well, you can say, well, okay, he's a better technician, but he's more stronger. He's got a better jaw, but he's got, better. So, to really, you don't know until you're in that ring.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the ring. Everything that you hide under your bed in the closet comes up when you're threatened.
Mm.
Everything comes up. Anger, fear, frustration, they all come up, and it's how good you are under pressure. Now, I know basically both of them, Michael Jai White, I tell you what, he is a strong martial artist, incredible warrior, black belt, and, some different styles and stuff.
Well, I have 8 black belts now. So,
No, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
8?
Yeah, I've been, thus the age, I've been doing it for a long time.
And he's very powerful.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I you know what, I do not take him lightly, because he's very strong at what he does, and he loves what he does.
Just like, well, we're nerds with it. It's not about like getting popular behind it. We just love it. So that's a thing that, it's one thing that if somebody's training because they want popularity or power, but it's another thing if you're training because you love it. And it's not about getting money or anything else like that. We do it for free. I mean, that's what we do. We have the choice to do it or not. You know what I mean? I love it.
He loves the art of war, and I don't think that there's no fear in him either.
That's great to hear.
He loves to go out there, and he'll mix it with you, or he'll work with you.
Wow.
So yeah, he's a strong warrior. I have a lot of respect for him.
For more Benny the Jet, make sure to check out some other parts of the interview. This one, learn about the real Kumite that he fought in. Now that is a wild story. Or click this one to find out more about his martial arts, Urquidez, and the philosophy and everything else behind that.